Be sure to buy your copy of Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and wordsmatterpublishing.com. All right, I think this is an incredibly important conversation to have to start the benchmark, the foundation of use of force, especially since I'm going heavy on criticizing and critiquing police use of force videos. I keep forgetting that I'm trained, I have a background in this, and a lot of the public doesn't. So we have to start establishing a base for what is this, right? So I want to start answering some questions which they make sense. So I got to be fair to you guys for this one. These are common things that I get, and a lot. And the one thing I have noticed, a pattern of notice, is a lot of people who support police, they're black and white. A lot of cops are black and white. And I will say this: I was this mindset. There's a video that I can't find anymore that went viral I had years ago, where I had it played on celebrities' radio shows and whatnot, where it was I just said comply. I said comply, comply, comply. And although in theory 100% that's correct, I want to explain why even I was wrong back then. Should you comply when a police gives you lawful orders? 100%. Save yourself the headache, save yourself the charges, save yourself the injuries. Can you comply? That's what we need to talk about. Whenever I do police critique videos, you have to understand it comes from two different aspects. I'm looking at it as from the cop that I was, and now the public that I am, looking at it through the same lens of the public, because I want the public to understand what the police do in order to wind up having the police do a better job so they're not so criticized. Ultimately, I don't fucking care about cops. I care about law enforcement, the entity that is exactly the ideology that we're supposed to uphold. We swore an oath to, the Constitution, serving the public, keeping the peace and maintain order in a free society, protecting them. Cops as individuals, we're shitty people. Cops and the ideology of law enforcement, it's a different story, and that's what I hope to get back to. This is a comment based on a video that I just reviewed. It's Andrews Jr. 777. Without knowing the complete story before this, you can't assume the cops are wrong, ? Reckless driving? Did he assault someone else? Did he put the public in danger as he was being chased? Stop resistance, and maybe you won't get a face beat in. How about that? If I don't comply, I expect to get an ass kicking. But if I put others, innocent people at risk or police officer risk, you get what you get. I understand this, and this comes from a place of emotion, ignorance, because you don't know the job, and stupidity. The job of the public, the job of the police is not to punish. You have to start there. The job of the police is not to punish. That's the court's job. The job of the cop is to keep the peace and maintain order in a free society, show up on scene, document behavior, prevent, terminate life-threatening behavior if so, and put people into cuffs when necessary, right? What happened before this plays a role, but it stops and it changes in the middle of everything. If I am down the street and I am shooting my flamethrower out the window and I'm burning up a school with children in all over the place, and that's the information the cops get from the dispatcher, which is always third party, a call in, goes to a dispatcher relays the information to a police officer, or many, however many are going, then you have the cops on scene showing up in what they think is what's going on. So you can hear, oh my God, you got a man who's shooting up a school, this, that, and go up on scene, and it's a guy who's walking around, just looking into windows. It's whatever the caller called in. So the information, what was given, we have to start there. If it is what I said, right, I'm shooting a flamethrower out the window, and I'm just torching everything in sight, and the cops show up, and I've got that flamethrower, and I pointed at anyone, or I pointed at the cops, they 100% in that moment, they had better use deadly force. They need to use force that will terminate the life-threatening action or event, right? You don't shoot to kill, you shoot to terminate the life-threatening action or event, right? So if you shoot and the guy stops, hey, you get terminated it. And I've argued with radio show hosts about this, and they downplay the importance of this. You're not shooting to kill. You're shooting to terminate the threatening fucking activity and action. So if you shoot somebody and you put two in their chest and it stops what they're doing, you're terminating the action. Still, deadly force is a seizure. It's kind of hard to seize somebody who's dead, right? But I know so many of you, you want to hang on to that emotion, be like, cops should just be out there administering beatings and punishments, because that's what we're all ganged up on, right? The public is pure evil, and I understand that a lot of people are scumbags out there. But I'm going to continue. If I'm torching everybody with a flamethrower, cops show up, they see everywhere around there's burnt children just screaming in pain, this and that, and I'm standing there with my hands up. No, they cannot use deadly force. If I go pick that flamethrower up, sure, they can use deadly force. It's interchanging in the moment. So when you say, to get the complete story, reckless driving, well, he's no longer in the car, is he? If you're going to use reckless driving as an example, that's another perception's reality aspect, right? You can get a little old lady you can get a Karen who's like, so-and-so is recklessly driving down my street, and it's a guy just doing 10 miles an hour looking at Christmas or pumpkin decorations for Halloween. She doesn't like him in the neighborhood, so she wants the cops called over to get him out. You guys have no idea how gray this job is. But reckless driving, right? All right, he's driving all over the road. He's drunk, this and that. He's not in the car anymore. What are you bashing his head in the sidewalk for? Now, is he going to reach in his waistband because you could see a pistol there? Bash his head into the concrete all day long. I give you my blessing. You better crack that fucking skull open all over the sidewalk till his brains spill out all over like the Kittner boy from Jaws. That's exactly what you better do. But if he's covering up, which is what the body's automatic human response is to do when you're taking an ass beating from grown men and women, you need to watch what you're doing. The totality of the circumstances. Again, the second somebody winds up giving up, the fight is over. But it's also impossible for a human being to go limp and relax while three grown men are pounding the shit out of him on the pavement. I'm going to take into consideration, you guys don't understand this. If you think that if I don't comply, I expect to get an ass kicking, dude, that's not the job of the cops, and you're actually vilifying them even more. It's not the job of the American police officer to fucking discipline people and beat their asses when they get out of line, no matter how much I wished it had been when I was on the job. Wish it would fucking be that way. It's not, guys. It's not. So you got to stop this horse shit. Another comment, the same thing. It's going to go back to, here's another comment. Simple solution. This is from Brian Sepp. Simple solution, just comply with their demands. No, you comply with their orders. Commands or orders. Demands, a little bit different, right? Semantics, what are you going to do? Let them cuff you. If there's a misunderstanding, they will let you go and everyone's safe. Boy, are you naive. If they cuff you, they're going to find a reason to charge you. You clearly know no cops. If you've done something wrong, then go to jail, get bailed out, plead your case. 100%, I agree with you. Either way, everyone is safe and unharmed. The police only escalate when resistance is escalated. Resistance wasn't escalated in this circumstance to warrant what the police officers did. Okay, that's my position. Once the handcuffs are on, the threat is over. No use in beating them down. Thank you. So you agree that George Floyd should not have had a knee on his neck or back for 9 minutes and some odd seconds. Thank you. I appreciate that because he was in handcuffs. Thank you. The question is, simple solution, just comply with their demands. Can you? Can you comply? Is the subject drunk off his ass? What drugs are they on? Medications? Emotional? Heightened shit? It's not as black and white as you guys think it is. You think that people show up and they're just in a state of calm, just got up that day, it's a beautiful day. Hey, officer, what's going on? Oh, yeah, put your hands on my back, you got it. People, your natural reaction, if you've never had police interaction and a cop says, put your hand on your back, is to go, wait, what are you talking? No, what's going on? You naturally do that. You do it in your day. If one of your bosses came up during the day or your friends came up during the day, say, put your hands behind your back, going to jail, you'd be like, the fuck are you? You would be like, what are you? This isn't processing here. You think just because cops wear a uniform that automatically you're going to change your state and go, oh, drone-like behavior. I'm zoned in on complete compliance. Guys, I want to do these videos on this YouTube channel to wind up having you get a sense of what the job is. So when I criticize law enforcement and I say that's a shitty fucking shoot, that's a bad tactics, that's XYZ, you understand why. It's not meant to criticize cops just for the sake of criticizing cops. It's meant to pressure test, sharpen, improve, polish the system of law enforcement so we have a better quality of man and woman on the street, so when they go hands fucking on, it's lawful and it's righteous and there's no room for questioning. So that when they pull that trigger, it's 100% supportive. So for those of you who are in law enforcement are still questioning this, oh no, I do this, I do. You guys are, I have no tolerance for stupid police. And sadly, if you read some of the comments in some of my posts that criticize law enforcement, you will see the bootlickers and you will see the good old boy, yes sirs, whose dicks get so fucking hard when they're called on a vehicle pursuit chase or they go to a barking dog call because there's nothing else to do and these motherfuckers are looking for fights and these are the cops that need to go. And you and the public, you guys need to sharpen your skill sets too, understand what you're doing and why cops are doing it. So I'm going to start answering questions. I'll start doing critiques and reviews and answer stuff. And in operating under the fact that the public just doesn't know why cops do things. You have to use force to the level of what a objectively reasonable officer would think. But here's where you cops are stupid as shit. Do you not see what some of the people in the comment section are writing? And you're giving fuel to PERF, Police Executive Research Forum, which clearly states one of their missions in the top 3 of their entire list of like 50 tenets is they want to change it from objectively reasonable to proportionality through the eyes of a citizen. Look at the ammunition you're giving them. You're fucking yourselves every step of the way. Guys, job of the peace officer is to keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. That's the job. It's peace officer, police officer. It's serve and protect, and it's the greatest fucking job in the world. Don't make it worse for yourselves. And if you support the police in the thin blue line, support them in a way that is righteous, justified, up to the law and to the Constitution, and what you would want for you and your family. I hope that makes sense. You guys stay safe out there.